You've probably heard the phrase, knowledge is power. But what if we told you that human wisdom has its limits? Welcome to our journey into the depths of human wisdom. We live in an era where information is at our fingertips, where we can access the collective knowledge of humanity with a few keystrokes. Yet, despite this wealth of information, we often find ourselves stumbling in the dark, grappling with uncertainty, confusion, and paradoxes. Human wisdom, as precious as it is inherently limited. It's like trying to fill a bottomless pit with a handful of sand. We can learn, explore, and understand, but there's always more to know, more to explore, more to understand. This isn't a pessimistic view, but rather a humble recognition of our finite nature in the face of the infinite. Philosophers and thought leaders throughout history have acknowledged this reality. Socrates, the father of Western philosophy, famously declared, "I know that I am intelligent because I know that I know nothing." It's a paradox that speaks volumes about the limitations of human wisdom. Even in our modern times, renowned physicist Richard Feynman echoed this sentiment, stating, "I think it's much more interesting to live not knowing than to have answers which might be wrong." This acceptance of uncertainty, this willingness to embrace the unknown, is a testament to the humility that comes with true wisdom. Relying solely on our own understanding can lead us down a road of disappointment and confusion. It's like trying to navigate an uncharted ocean with no compass. We may make progress, we may discover new lands, but without a guiding star, we're just drifting in the vast expanse. As we journey through life, it's crucial to recognize that our wisdom has its boundaries, that there's a universe of knowledge beyond our grasp. And rather than being disheartened by this, we should be inspired to learn, to grow, to question, and to seek wisdom beyond our own understanding. As Albert Einstein once said, "The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know." If human wisdom is limited, where can we find the wisdom that surpasses our understanding? This question takes us on a journey beyond the visible, tangible realm we're accustomed to, into the world of the divine, a place where wisdom isn't measured by academic degrees or IQ scores, but by the depth of understanding and connection with the universe and its creator. Throughout history, many great thinkers have echoed this sentiment. Socrates, the father of Western philosophy, once declared, "I know that I'm intelligent because I know that I know nothing." This paradoxical statement reflects the concept of divine wisdom, knowing that our knowledge has limits, and that there's a higher wisdom beyond us. This concept of divine wisdom isn't exclusive to philosophy. It's found in various religious and spiritual traditions. The Bible, for instance, in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5, urges us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. This verse isn't a dismissal of human intellect or curiosity. Rather, it's an invitation to seek wisdom beyond us, to open our minds and hearts to the divine. The Buddha, too, spoke of transcending our limited human understanding. He taught that the path to enlightenment lies in realizing the interconnectedness of all things, in understanding the universe not through our limited human intellect, but through a higher wisdom. Now you may be asking, how can I tap into this divine wisdom? Well, the journey begins with a simple step: acknowledging the limitations of our human understanding. It's about humbling ourselves, admitting that we don't have all the answers, and that's okay. This humility opens the door to a greater wisdom, a wisdom that's been there all along, waiting for us to discover. And so, we come back to the question we started with. If human wisdom is limited, where can we find the wisdom that surpasses our understanding? The answer lies not in seeking more knowledge, but in seeking a deeper understanding, a connection with the divine. As the ancient proverb goes, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding." Let this be our guide as we continue on this journey of discovery. You might wonder, what's the harm in relying on my own understanding? Indeed, it's a natural instinct to lean on our own understanding. After all, we are creatures of reason, blessed with the capability to think, analyze, and make decisions. But there's a catch. Our understanding is limited by our experiences, our perspectives, and yes, our biases. Think of it this way. Imagine you're in a maze, relying only on your own understanding to find the exit. You take one turn, then another, only to end up at a dead end. Over and over again. Frustrating, isn't it? That's because from your vantage point, you can only see what's immediately around you. But what if you could see the whole maze from above? That would change everything, wouldn't it? Now let's translate this to our lives. When we rely solely on our understanding, we often find ourselves at dead ends, be it in our careers, relationships, or personal growth. Why? Because we're navigating the maze of life from a ground-level view. Research backs this up. A study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that people often overestimate their understanding of complex issues. In other words, we think we know more than we actually do. This cognitive bias, known as the illusion of explanatory depth, can lead us to make misguided decisions. There's also the danger of confirmation bias, where we seek out information that supports our beliefs and ignore evidence that contradicts them. This can trap us in an echo chamber, stunting our growth and understanding. So, what's the solution? Seeking wisdom from a higher source. This doesn't necessarily mean a divine entity. It could be a mentor, a trusted friend, or an inspiring book. The point is, we need to recognize our limitations and be open to perspectives beyond our own. In the words of Carl Jung, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. But remember, even the clearest vision is limited by its vantage point. So let's not limit ourselves to our ground-level view. Let's seek the wisdom that lies beyond. So how can we tap into this divine wisdom that surpasses our understanding? The journey to divine wisdom is not a sprint, but a marathon. A pilgrimage that requires humility, openness, and faith. The path isn't always clear and the terrain can be challenging, but the rewards, they are immeasurable. Let's start with humility. It's a step that many of us struggle with. Humility is not about thinking less of ourselves. It's about acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, and that's okay. It's about recognizing that there's a wisdom that far exceeds our own. A wisdom that's divine in nature. Embracing humility is like opening a door to a vast library of knowledge that we were previously blind to. Next, we have openness. Being open is about having the courage to seek wisdom from places we may not have considered before. It's about venturing beyond the boundaries of our comfort zone, beyond the limits of our own understanding. Remember, divine wisdom isn't confined to a single book or a single voice. It's a symphony of insights that resonates throughout the universe, waiting for us to tune in. Finally, there's faith. Faith is trusting that even when we don't understand, there's a bigger picture, a divine plan unfolding that is for our good. It's believing that even in the darkest night, the dawn will come. Faith is the compass that guides us on our journey to divine wisdom, keeping us steady when the path gets rocky. But let's not forget, this journey isn't a solitary one. We can seek guidance from spiritual leaders, delve into scriptures, and learn from the wisdom of those who've walked this path before us. We can draw strength from their faith, learn from their experiences, and take solace in their teachings. The journey to divine wisdom is indeed a profound one, a journey of humility, openness, and faith. It's a journey that deepens our understanding, enriches our lives, and ultimately brings us closer to the divine. As Socrates once said, "I know that I am intelligent because I know that I know nothing." What happens when we start trusting in divine wisdom instead of solely relying on our own understanding? Imagine you're navigating through the vast ocean of life in a small boat. You have a compass, the human intellect, guiding you. But what if there is a storm and the compass fails? What if the seas are so vast and the journey so long that you lose your way? That's where divine wisdom comes in. It's like the North Star, always there, always guiding, regardless of the storms that may rage. Trusting in this divine wisdom is like fixing your eyes on that star, letting it guide you through the darkest nights and the most treacherous seas. Stories abound of people who have trusted in divine wisdom and found their way through life's most challenging situations. They faced adversity, overcome obstacles, and emerged stronger, more resilient, not because they relied on their own understanding, but because they trusted in something greater, something beyond the confines of human intellect. Take, for instance, the story of a woman who lost everything. She was at the end of her rope, with no idea what to do, but instead of leaning on her own understanding, she chose to trust in divine wisdom. And in doing so, she found a path, a way forward that she could never have imagined on her own. Or, consider the man who was faced with a seemingly impossible decision. He could see no good outcome, no matter which path he chose, but he decided to trust in divine wisdom. And in doing so, he found a resolution that was not only beneficial, but also brought peace and harmony. These stories and countless others illustrate the transformative power of trusting in divine wisdom. They show us that when we let go of our need to control, to understand everything, and instead trust in a higher power, we open ourselves to possibilities we could never have conceived. Remember the words of Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. If you found value in this video, we appreciate your support through subscribing and liking. Continue your journey to wisdom, and remember, wisdom is the true power.